Today, I'm going to talk about stay home and paint and how I reset my setup after I paint finish a very intense project like Ghazghkull within 3 days. Welcome back, collectors. So, I just finished painting Ghazghkull and I'm gonna take some time now to talk about Stay Home and Paint SG. So, we have just received a very generous donation of Singapore $250, and we're gonna put it forward towards the community so that everybody gets to sort of like alleviate from all that negativity and see the positives, maybe paint at home and have some fun. So in this challenge, we hope everybody has fun, learn something, and this time teach something to someone else. Yes, alright? So without further ado, I'm going to talk about some of the entries for Stay Home and Paint SG. Alright, so here are some of the entries I received from Stay Home and Paint SG. Stay Home and Paint SG is an effort from Kolectiv Studios in the hopes of alleviating some of our fellow painters and allowing everyone to be happy. So we are moving on to Ben's work. So Ben, he's a sculptor. You can check out more of his stuff on his Thingiverse, and yeah, I think he's done a pretty good job with this Space Wolves. But I would like to say that the OSL is really convincing, but I'm going to give you some pointers how we can improve on this OSL. So I'm going to use a desaturated orange over here, as you can see. So desaturated oranges get a bright orange color and add any white and you can get this orange. So I'm just going to very boldly place in the sources of light. Then I'm going to use a red glaze around the area. So the red glaze, ideally you want something super saturated and transparent. Okay, so transparent, lower the opacity, and you want it slightly faded. Alright, so this gives a more convincing look, and you want to re-emphasize the source of the light. So which means you need to add in a sort of a higher opacity white or a higher opacity desaturated orange right in the middle, and this gives a very convincing OSL effect. Alright, also I noticed a bit of spackling here, easy to fix. Just you increase the pressure of your airbrush and those things will be solved already. Good job, Ben. I've seen a lot of improvement from you, and these washes are so sharp because he's using an enamel wash over a gloss coat. I really like what he's doing, and I really look forward to see it finish. We'll move on to Sengcha. Sengcha, amazing job right here. So much improvement. I'm really happy for this. One small tip would be I would just increase the size of the highlight in the middle so that the three bands don't look so equidistant. So I'm just going to increase the width of the highlight in the middle, and yeah, I think it looks really good already. You've improved so much, and the level of understanding that you have is for light is so good, and I'm really happy with this piece. One other comment that I would say that is that the base is now currently in one mono color. I really like the construction of the base. Yeah, I really like the construction of the base here. The construction of the base is really nice, but what you could do is maybe add in some different little details, maybe like a dead body or a skull to sort of like break up the colors. Well done, Singcha. I'm really happy for this. So moving on to Winston. I think Winston has done really well. I'm really very interested to see how he's done the base. The base is so superb. I wish you could just teach me how to do this water effect that you've come up from the pipe, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to see what you use. You use many different materials on the base, and it adds a lot more interest to the entire piece. One point of improvement that I will add is, I know this is still work in progress, but I would say that maybe use a darker color, sort of like just to define the eyes a little bit so that you break up surfaces so that you can see which part is which part, because currently the eyes are melding into the flesh. But I think overall It's a pretty awesome job and I look forward to see it finished. So moving on to Steve. So Steve is the dude doing the Imperial Fist. He's done the entire thing in oils. I think it's really amazing because my experience working in oils is really tough. I'm really looking forward to the tutorial to see how he got this entire yellow armor done using oil paints. Super amazing. Alright? And yeah, I'm just really curious to see how it's done using oil paints. It's not an easy technique, but the blends are so awesome right here. Yeah. All right. And as you can see, Steve really focuses on the base, this enamel wash technique here. I'm really, while the photo is not in focus, I'm really looking forward to see how he's done it. I really like the effects and the color selection is just on point. So we're moving on to Alicia's piece. Alicia is or known as Crow Demon. You can see her work on her Instagram, and she's always on Twitch. So you can go check out her Instagram over here. And also, I really like how it's going here. She's doing it in a true metallic method. There's this really appealing picture of the verdigris on her Instagram page, and you can go check that out. And yeah, this is just base coat for her, but yeah, it really looks good. Let's see how this thing looks when it's finished. And next we are moving on to Adrian. Okay, so this is Adrian's work. Adrian has been one of our very early supporters and now has very much a friend really. I really appreciate your support, Adrian. So as you can see, the understanding of light is really very good. You can see the orange leaking out of the entire magma area, and I think it's very convincing already. But I have just a little point of improvement for you. As you can see, these areas have already a convincing glow. But how to improve it? I would say add a wash or a glaze of red. So I'm gonna use a bright red glaze over here. Okay, a bright red glaze, and increase the size of the brush. All right. Okay, let's see. All right. Too opaque there. Just down the opacity. Sort of like tint the paints down, make the brush slightly lighter, and add a glow or just to ease the blends between the orange and the grey, because the grey is very cool. You want an intermediate color. So looking at the color wheel from the warm side to the cool side, red is a very good transition and makes the entire thing look a lot more convincing. Yep, as also, I really look forward to see your finished piece. And yeah, you've improved so much. I'm really happy for you too. So moving on to Daniel. So this is Daniel's piece so far. So Daniel is a really busy painter, which also allows me to realize like not everybody is as lucky and privileged as me to be able to do this work and hobby thing as the same thing. And he shares with me that this challenge is an opportunity for him to be able to push himself to finish projects. So I'm really happy for him. I'm really looking forward to see how he does the tutorial, because I think end of the day not everyone has done the tutorial, and I think it's a good experience for everyone to think of how to teach somebody else. So moving on to this piece. This piece is by Ben Hogan. He's still a work in progress. Ben Hogan is a very prolific contrast paint user. So I would suspect that this is somehow done with contrast paint, and I think that's really amazing. So I'm really looking forward to the tutorial to see how Ben has done this with contrast paint and then cleaned up with Citadel paints. I think it would be very convincing. I think the blue leather on the back is also super convincing. The highlights are all very well placed. And I think, yeah, this is a breath of fresh air. I think your technique has always been pretty nice. I'm really looking forward to see how these two parts are done and looking forward to your tutorial. So this is Corey, one of my favorite pieces. So we're gonna zoom in here to see what he's done really well. So okay, this is Blood Bowl Bunny, and zooming in, look at that pin. That pin is so amazing. That pin is so amazing, and then wow, nobody has done the pin that amazingly. Oh my god! But jokes aside, I think it's done really well for the human flesh. He hasn't over shaded it to increase too much of the definition, because end of the day we are painting female flesh. I think there's a degree of aesthetics for female flesh where you don't want the muscles to be too clearly defined so that it appears more feminine. I know this is not very politically correct, but I guess there are some general aesthetics that we try to adhere to. Alright, so moving on to Keith. So this is Keith's Infiltrator Marine. I think that he is really, really influenced by the Math of Cooking art, which he's a big fan of. Look at these highlights, all perfectly placed. I'm really happy with this. I'm looking forward to see him add more colors to see how it's finished. We don't have much time left, Keith, but yeah, looking forward to see the final piece. Giles has a surprise for you guys, which I'm not going to share. But yes, look at this Noise Marine. So for this Noise Marine, I add a little bit of suggestion because it's so colorful. I would say that I would increase on the part separation. How I would do this is I'll just black line areas in between different colors. So in between these different colors, I will add just a thin black line, sort of like to demarcate and to separate the different colors. I think just by this, it allows the entire piece to look a lot more segmentized, and I think the viewers would really enjoy looking at the different colors and the different details of what you have placed. So just by adding this black line, you would have really improved on the entire piece already. And I'm really looking forward to see your surprise, Giles. Alright, so for the head, the freehand is pretty nice. I would say that just clean up on the lines a little bit. I know it's still work in progress, but for the hair, highlight it in an entire volume rather than doing it strand by strand. Alright, so moving on, we have Hui Feng's River. So as mentioned in some of the groups that we are in, Hui Feng, your river, maybe what we can do is increase the size of the highlight. So I'm going to show you what we mean by the increase of the size of the highlight. It's just the value distribution, and maybe just bias more towards the desaturated colors. Oops, too opaque there. And yep, just like that. And look at that. Just by increasing the size of the highlight, the entire piece looks a lot more coherent already. I'm really, really happy with what I see so far. So this is it so far for what I've received, and yep. So you've stayed till the end of the video. That's really nice of you. Thank you. So I just finished painting Ghazghkull, and yeah, the place is in a mess. So I'm gonna roughly take you through my process of resetting my setup. And yeah, first I like to just clean up a bit, and I'm gonna maintain my equipment as you can see in the video coming right now. Alright collectors, so what do you think of this video? Do you find it useful? Please like, subscribe and hit the bell notification icon if you want to support our channel, and let me know what you think about the video right in the comments below. Alright? Also, if you really want to support the channel, do head on to our Patreon and become a Patreon today. Please, being a Patreon allows me to keep creating awesome content like this, and it keeps everybody together, and yeah, we can all become better painters together. Patrons get early access to some of my tutorials. Also, you guys get to ask me questions, and I'll be very happy to share my knowledge and my experience with all you guys. I look forward to see you guys next week, where we continue in the next video and finish up my cat diorama. Alright, see you.